Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuna with Kailua. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout-out to Sauce Tough Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.
Middle or something, man. Cause fans gonna be upset if the fight don't happen, man.
Man, tell Chris just how he just fought Venezuela. He can come to 135 and we can make it happen.
Do you think that if you guys did fight that you'll ultimately stop him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Frank
I'm
Martin.
too much, man. I'm too much
Fight
for him, man.
hype interview. I'm gonna give you out some reaction to this.
I'm just too much.
Some sauce.
Fair
Too
enough.
much.
Yeah, you are too
And
much
then
for a 130
Chris,
pounder.
there's
That's
always
correct.
been like a lot of talks with you possibly fighting a guy like Isaac Cruz. I remember that you was talking about that fight like way before
Now, this is Isaac
Michelle
Cruz
Rivera
being
fight.
mentioned.
I remember I spoke to you in like 2021. It was like an arrow fight. I'm not sure if you remember. We like brought up Isaac Cruz and you were just like, yeah, you'll fight him.
You know what?
So
I don't want to hear
like,
Isaac
do you
Cruz because
think
I've
that
been
fight can
asking
possibly
for that
happen
fight.
this
I want to
year?
hear him speak on Keyshawn
It
Davis.
could.
Outside with you, but is it more difficult to fight a guy with that type of style?
Man, I feel like with aggressive fighters, I do good against.
Let's get to
I
Keyshawn.
always do my thing.
You know, that's a pretty good point because that just reminded me that you're, from what I can remember, you're the only guy to catch a drop to drop Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs, which is kind of crazy because he's now
Yeah,
147,
speedy recovery for,
knocking everybody out. He's a really aggressive guy. So
Virgil
that's
Ortiz,
a really good
man.
point by you. Do you look at a guy like Keyshawn Davis?
This is what I was waiting for.
In that,
Appreciate it.
no problem. In that same realm, granted, he is pretty young. I think he's 22, 23.
Listen to
I'm
the
not
shade
sure.
coming.
Former Olympic silver medalist. Do you look at him kind of in that same vein a little
Listen
bit?
to the shade coming.
Man, I feel like he's still like everybody say, he good, right? The dude good, but I just feel like it's it don't matter who you sparring. You know, you can spar Shakur.
It don't matter who you sparring.
That's
But
good
yeah,
sparring.
your
That's great
promoter,
sparring. But you know,
everybody loves to talk about his sparring with Floyd, but we'll hold off on
boxing
that.
since they was kids, right? How much more can he grow? You sparring with the top guys right now, and you ain't even putting the fighters they putting in front of you. You ain't even really
Shade.
like
Listen to the shade.
dogging them like you supposed to, considering that work you getting. You know what I mean? So it's just like, how much more?
Sounds mad.
How much more can he grow? The only thing you can do is get stronger. You know, but when it comes
Sounds
to
kind of mad to me.
skill set and all that, how much more can his IQ grow? You know, I mean, it could still grow. But like, people just be killing me when they say, "Oh, he getting this type of work, he getting that type of work." Well, why he ain't watching these? Why ain't he dominating these fighters that he fighting? He getting the best work he can get. He supposed to be washing them. You know what I mean? So, he good, you know, but he still got room. He still got room to grow. Like, he still got room to grow. Right now, he calling me out. He doing what he's supposed to do, but he not ready for me. He not ready for me.
So you should spank him.
So what are kind
That's
of
easy work.
what's kind of your response? Because you know he does call you out a lot. He recently said that
That's easy work.
he'll hurt
Spank
you.
him.
He was saying it to Errol. He said in an interview with me, actually, he was just like, Errol, keep hyping your boy up. You're going to get your boy hurt. So,
That's what he's supposed to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to say that. You know, so I ain't worried about none of it. You know, what I tell him, like, stay in your lane. Like, stay in your lane. Like we'll dance. You know, go.
Stay in your lane.
Go
Wow,
fight. You know,
that's a bold
they brought
statement.
up something about records. What his record is and where my record was at when I was coming up. First, we came up different. You know what I mean?
This
y'all
might
came
explain
up-
where
they
the
came
shade
up
is
top
coming
rank.
from.
You know what I mean? They came up with a big promoter, one of the biggest promoters in the game. They gonna have a good match opponent pool, so they can get fighters with good records to make these fighters' resumes look good. You know what I mean? I came up fighting in armories. You know, I'm hustling tickets, so we came up different. So when it comes to records, like don't look at who I fought in the beginning. Look at who I've been fighting. I ain't got no layup. Look who I've been fighting my last 5-6 fights. You know what I mean? He ain't fought nobody. 7 fights, 6 fights. He ain't fought nobody. like none of the dudes.
He
I
just
fought.
contradicted
You know
himself.
what I mean?
We're gonna
And
get
of
to
course,
that.
you're
He
gonna have
said
better
about who he was
resumes.
fighting
LeBron,
coming up
silver
to
medalist in
the last
Olympics,
5 fights.
You know, so
Gotta pay
it's
attention to
different.
some of the
Like,
stuff these guys be
it's
saying.
different. We ain't in the amateurs no more though. We in the pros.
That's a fair point, man. Do you
Fair
kind of
point.
think that fight is something that's gonna happen?
Fight hype
down the line,
reporters
though,
are
man?
too
Or you
much,
think
man.
I don't want to say the talent gap, but do you think that it's just because you're like pretty much right there for a world title shot? Keyshawn, he's really, really good, but he still has like a ways to go before he gets there. So do you think that you guys are just too far apart right now for that to be realistic?
No, I mean, yeah, we ain't gonna fight right now. It ain't nothing that's gonna happen right now. But you know, he get some belts or whatever, or say for instance, he, you know, I got some belts and it makes sense at the time. You know, if he ranked where he's supposed to be at high or whatever, we could dance because he keep talking. You know, so you know me, I give him what he asking for. You know,
Should give it to him now.
You know,
Should give it to
you
him
gotta
now.
let him keep give him some fights. Because if I fight him now, if I dog him, they're gonna be like, oh, he only had.
It is what it is. Just dog
Let
him.
him keep getting some fights, so it's fair.
Just dog him.
Get our, you know,
This is boxing.
get our just due after the fight over with.
That's a fair point. Does the stuff like that like ever like bother you, man? Because you're just really chill, really calm.
All right, let's stop it right there. He said the stuff like that bothered. He sounds bothered, right? Number one, right? If you feel he's easy work, you can spank him, you can dog him. Dog him. Why wait for him to get better? I know you spoke on earlier how you are, you want fighters that's gonna push you and all that, but this is the fight game, right? You said you could dog him. He's not ready. Stay in his lane. You also said about, you know, not calling out guys that, you know, you can't fight but I'm going to give you a pass on that one because your promoter called out a fight with you and Shakur Stevenson. But yet you're not trying to fight guys over there that's Shakur status in your own side of the street. You know how you guys like to say this side of the street, that side of the street. But overall, I like you being more boisterous because remember that was one of the narratives that was coming across on the YTC was that you don't talk. Well, now you're talking. That's good. I wish this guy would have asked you some stuff about Kid Austin because Kid Austin and his pops is, you know, on record, you know, for saying you're garbage. Those are fighting words as well. It seems to me like when it comes to Frank the Ghost Martin, a lot of these young guys who he says need to stay in their lane, and I quote him, pretty much aren't sold on him. The same way he's not sold on them. So the only way to actually see who's not who and who is pump faking, perpetrating is to fight. That's pretty much all I got for you on this source. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. This is the Source Experience. Zaga, yaga. You know the vibes. Ahala.
Hey, what's happening, baby? It's Jeremiah Dreamland Milton, and you are now talking to the Sauce Talk. That's where we at.
Appreciate you, champ. You know the vibe.
Yes, this is the Sauce Talk with Keyshawn Davis.
The Sauce Talk, okay.
First off,